Alright, this video is for Vito Varley. Um, and basically, the first thing I would say right off the bat is that um, you really want to watch your saturation. And I get what you're trying to do with the hands and things like that. But the hands are disappearing into your main torso. Um, and they're kind of dissipating, and it's harder for you to see, especially if you shrink it down, they almost disappear. Um, the first thing that I would say right off the bat is that you really want to pay attention to um, that saturation. So what I would do is first I would oops let's find the right one here. First things first, use if you're going to if you're going to paint with, in digital, the best thing you can do is, oops, let me grab that again. The best thing you can do is actually make everything kind of the right size, because right now it feels very like come on. There we go. So what I mean by that is going up here, you want to have things in the proper angle. I mean, it's a simple fix, just rounding this out here is going to clean up and make your thing a lot better. And then if you want that high concentration of your light, then what you want to do instead is go darker. All right. So you've got this light coming out here, and what you're going to do is let's just kind of all right, like that, and then let's play with the levels so that it really pops, your darkness really pops and makes more sense. All right, so there, do you see how that stands out a lot better now, and it's a lot more interesting? And then what you can do is, and I should have just actually, let's go back and undo that. Let's grab this here. And yeah, I can't even see this hand here. So I would start off with this, and then we could just do a level on the whole thing here. And by doing that, that makes everything else stand out a little bit. And then what we can do is we can go in the history brush here, um, and set it before the levels. And with the history brush, we can paint out quite a bit of this. And so that makes things stand out a little bit better. And then from there, you can add more form and depth onto your initial form here and make it look, like knuckles, or give it that texture, and that pops that shape out quite a bit. And I would form that out so that it makes more sense. Because right now what you've got is you've got things just kind of blending in and nothing really comes back out. But with this way, it pops out things. Um, and it's okay to have the information in there. But what I would say right off the bat is that you've got the proportions really really long and skewed. But the other thing too is, and you can bring some of this in here. The other thing too is you're clipping off, a lot of the character. The elbows are cut off, the top of the head's cut off, the bottom of the cloak is cut off. So, clipping this out is not actually the best thing you could do. And then on top of that, what you're doing is you're actually not really defining the character. I mean, you've got the character in there, but there's no form in the character. Um, and so by simply building out, you know, positives and negatives, and then we can add in some of the darks, and it starts turning more into kind of a creature then, versus, and you see that? See how it pops out, that form of the character, and get some anatomy in there, um, so that it makes more sense, because right now it just feels very bland. And so by cutting down, like so, by cutting this down, I can get a lot more depth in this character and much more interest going on. And you can see how by doing that, by doing those simple things, you're really starting to pop the character out, and it's much more ominous. And so those are things that I would tell you right off the bat that you want to kind of really push in your art. Because as before, the character doesn't read well. When you shrink it down, alls I really see is the kind of that black aspect of this real saturated tonal value there. It almost looks like a pyramid. And then when I put on my version, now I've got a character, and it's got much more interest in there, and it's easier to read from a small view versus the prior version. All right, so those are things that I would kind of work with, and like I said, get more anatomy in there so that you can actually uh, sell more of that aspect in there. The shoulders are off. I would pull the shoulders off. I would change the angle of the arm to just fit with anatomy stuff a little bit better. All right.